Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so Lakers start up tonight. Today I made probably the most lackluster pregame video I ever made, man. I just didn't remember none of the information I retained about the 76ers. My mindset was too much into other things that I had going on this morning. But I did want to come back around and make a statement about something that I think is real. If LeBron James can drag this Laker team to the championship and win that championship trophy with this bunch, I will call him the greatest player of all time. I don't even care about whether or not he matches Michael Jordan's finals record or none of that. I don't care that people will say he's dragged other teams that were worse than this one to the finals. LeBron has, or Mike has for that matter. I won't care. I just understand that I have so little faith in this roster and believe so little in them at this point that if he could take this bunch, for whom I do not believe, and win the championship, I will crown him the greatest player of all time, off of the strength of everything that he's ever done and doing that before my very eyes. I'll give it to him. I'm just telling y'all that right now. Personally, I will call him that. I will call him that. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, because that's how little faith I have in this Lakers team. That's how over this team I am this year. This roster, this particular group of guys. That's how over I am the collection of these people. That I believe that they will probably get knocked off in the play-in tournament. That's what I expect. And we'll probably lose in the play-in tournament to teams that we cannot beat. Phoenix. I don't like us against Phoenix in a one-and-done situation. That's Devin Booker and KD and Bradley Beal. I don't think we've seen them healthy all season long. But we have seen them individually kick our behinds in different games. Beal went off on one of the games. We went for like 40 points. We've seen Booker go off. We've seen KD go off. They're all three in a one-and-done situation against what we have. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I think we may lose that game. Sacramento, don't even think about it. Don't even consider that. The Sacramento Kings have beat us 100 out of 100 times after what I've seen. We could play them every day. We lose every day. That's how bad that matchup is for the Lakers at this point. You see what I'm getting at? In Dallas, yeah, I don't want to see Kyrie in a one-game situation. And Luka the Don, I don't want to see Kyrie specifically. Luka the Don, he's such an amazing player. But I don't specifically fear him in a one-and-done situation. It's Kyrie that I don't want to deal with. I'm just being honest with you guys. It's him that I don't want to deal with. I don't disrespect Luka in any way, but Luka's going to have to... he's going to have to do something that he hasn't done. I don't know what it is. I can't put a finger on it. A lot of people say it's defense, but his numbers are so incredible. He's won close games. But there's something about him that doesn't still fear in the hearts of many as it pertains to one-and-done situations. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that he hasn't done it yet. I don't know. He got to the Western Conference Finals with Jalen Brunson, so we should consider that a great deal of winning. But some of the luster's falling off of him for some reason. Maybe, I don't know what it is. I'm just vibing off of it. I don't fear him. I think we can win if Kyrie doesn't play that game. Which is not really saying a lot because Kyrie makes up half of their team, so that's a little scared. But the point is Kyrie's the one I don't want to deal with. That's what I'm telling you. And the Rockets, they attack us the right way, just like many young teams with a lot of fast players and the ability to shoot. I don't think anybody wants to see them right now the way they've been playing. I think it's very clear that they're probably playing the best basketball, not named Boston or Denver in the NBA right now. They are the third best team in basketball right now. They're beating everybody in front of them. So no one should want to see them. But I do think that their schedule is going to get significantly more difficult right before the season ends. And they probably won't stay as hot as they are right now in the closing weeks of the season. Once they start running into certain teams that they're going to have to face, it's party time right now. And it's going to be party time for the next 5-6 games. After that, for Houston, you're going to see them probably roll back. That's what I think is going to happen. They're just going to get hit with some teams that it's going to get tough. Phoenix, though, I got to say this. Phoenix is the one that's really going to be hit right now. They're the ones I don't know if they had an easy schedule all year long, but it seems like at the end they got the worst stretch of basketball possible. They're playing everybody you don't want to face together at once to end the season when they're in this situation. So the numbers tell us they're falling. Even though they haven't begun to lose those games yet, they're really going to have to beat some teams they're not expected to beat in order to make the play-in tournament. And so it just gets a lot harder for Phoenix right now. And Golden State has an easier schedule, the complete opposite. They should beat a bunch of Portlands and Memphises and stuff. They're probably going to be there. So that's really what I see there. The Lakers have to win to keep certain teams off their backside, but some of the teams ahead of them are probably going to fall. I don't think Sacramento falls. I really don't, unless they have an injury of some sort. I think they're probably going to find themselves in the 6, 7, 8 range for sure. They're not falling past us, I don't believe. But losing to the Washington Wizards on the same night that Phoenix beats the Hawks is it's a very bad thing for the Sacramento Kings. They really can't lose that game, and they did. So it can get a little tricky for them if they go on a slide. And I hear that Kevin Huerter's out, maybe for the season. Definitely something significant. So they're going to be missing that particular shooter, although they got so many other shooters and so many other players at that position. And they found that gym that they had against us. I don't remember what his name is. The dude with the dreads. He looked fantastic. He plays shooting guard, so they're not going to miss no shooting guards. Even though Huerter's out, they got plenty of depth at that position. So, yeah, man, that's really what it is, man. I woke up this morning, and I really wasn't excited about the Lakers today. With all the stuff that I was enjoying this week in regards to not having a Laker game to watch or prep for. This was the first time in a very long time where I was just like, man, I could just very easily have them miss another day and enjoy more rest, man. That's just what it is. It's not that they're not an exciting team per se. It's just that they've done so much disappointing. You know what I mean? It's not like this roster you walked into the season and you saw Xavier Henry and Trey Murphy or nothing. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Or Troy Murphy, rather, not Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy the third is fantastic. But Troy Murphy, it was freaking terrible for us. We've had worse seasons, man. Kendall Marshall, Robert Sacre. That team was, you did not want to watch them at all. This ain't that. This is just one of them teams where it's like, you just don't have no faith in them, man. And because you don't have no faith in them and you know how talented you have as of a core, till it's just like, bro, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? This is what it is. That's the vibes. I'm not trying to ... is the way to sum up how I feel about these Lakers right now. I ain't trying to do this with y'all. If y'all ain't gonna win, if y'all ain't gonna play well, if you're gonna be struggling against teams you got no business struggling against, if you're gonna drop a game against the Philadelphia 76ers with no Joel Embiid, believe me, man, nobody's gonna be surprised by that because you've already disappointed that way many times over. So that's how I feel about this team right now. Here we go again with those guys. I'm just not interested in being disappointed anymore by them. That's what it is. I'm sick of being disappointed by this team, and I'm sick of not being able to give up on them because they want to come back and have a dream of a game after disappointing us. That's irritating. If you're gonna suck, be bad all the time. If you're gonna be good all the time. But don't get to a point where you got us on such highs and lows to when we finally wrap our mind around something, you make us give up on that thought by doing the opposite of what we expect. It rears it on your nerves. You know what I mean? That's what it is. This team wears your nerves out. You get irritated. Because it's like, bro, at least if my team is bad, I know they bad. I can bet on them to lose and make money on the back end. That type of thing. This team, man, you can't trust them to even lose when you bet on them because they're going to come back around and do something they have no business doing, like beating the Boston Celtics without Bron and AD. So it's like, at that point, it's like, all right, bro, I'm not interested in y'all. Because if y'all could do that, then why the hell are we going to overtime with the Wizards? You know what I'm saying? How come we can't beat a Sacramento team that the Wizards just beat? So it's and the injury issues, lackluster. And it's just certain decisions that have been made that we talked about a lot. Roster decisions. that if weren't done probably would make us feel a lot better just in general. Like the Jalen Hood-Schifino pick. If we would have just did what everybody else would have did in that situation and took Cam Whitmore or Jaime or Pajemski, like everybody else would have did in that situation, then you don't have this feeling because you're excited about that rookie. You see what I'm saying? And that's another thing. It's like because the coach wasn't fired. You don't like the coach. Most of Laker Nation just is out on Darvin Ham. To whatever level we're out. Some people hate him. Some people just frustrated with him. Some people just don't believe in him. Whatever the case, most of us are out. And he's still here. And so that's like, all right, man, damn. And then you look up and he's playing. He ain't playing the young guys. You know what I mean? And you want to see your young guys because they give you something to look forward to. I want to see more Max Christie. I want to see more Max Lewis. And he ain't playing them dudes. So you're like, all right. And then we're waiting on who? Gabe Vincent? I'm not, it's a lot of things that lag at your patience or your enthusiasm when you start looking at what they are. Vanderbilt been out all season long. Vincent's been out all season long. Cam Reddish, as soon as he comes back, he gets hurt. Same thing with Vanderbilt. Even the young fella Castleton's out with the wrist. Guys getting hurt and they're not even on the court to help us. They getting hurt in the G League. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right, man, that's another thing we just look at, put that in the category of irritating. So it's a lot of cumulative things that come together from different angles that irritate the hell out of the Laker fan. That's really what it is. That's exactly what it is. Every time you think about what this current state of your team is, you got that to be irritated with, that to be irritated with. The AD situation where sometimes he come out and play great, other games he come out and get pushed around in some just embarrassingly just dignity low type ways, getting pushed around by the same type of players, but can go crazy against Minnesota's backup centers. It's like, all right, bro, cool, yeah, all right, that's another thing I gotta be irritated with. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, that's what it is. And I think most of Laker Nation is just fed up with this season. We don't believe we're going to succeed, so we know it's going to end with us being even more irritated, even more frustrated. So it's like we just get this over with. That's what this season is for us. Because the big letdown is coming. And it's almost like you're looking forward to it because the whole season has been a big letdown. But it's like a death by 1,000 cuts. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it is. If LeBron James can drag this to the championship and win that championship, hell yeah, he the greatest of all time, because there hasn't been a team that I believed in less than this unit. There hasn't been a more of a frustrating season in recent memory that didn't involve purposeful losing for tanking purposes. Never have I remembered looking back on a team that frustrated me this much. Some of the Kobe teams, when you knew you wasn't going to be no good, near the end of his career, when he had taken the 40 mil, he knew he didn't have no talent around him. You know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of young kids. They weren't doing anything. But this year, we don't even have that. We just got a bunch of older guys ain't good enough. It's like, all right, man, that's cool, bro. Let's celebrate D'Lo's championship possibility or getting his 3-point record. That's cool, bro. He's passing Nick Van Exel. Hooray, bro. Hooray. Bron, 40,000 plus points. All right, let's celebrate those moments. And those moments don't move us. You see what I'm saying? That can be considered another irritation for a lot of Laker fans because we're not into that celebrate him is crazy. It's about celebrate the whole thing. The bigger picture, which is the team and championship success. You get the champagne showers mid-season for the in-season tournament. That's like, because it's not the big dance. And you're celebrating and popping bottles and you didn't win it. You won something, but it wasn't what it is that you're up there for. So it's like, that's another irritation for a lot of people. It's just like, all right, bro. Enough of this whack season, man. Enough. The schedule makers got us playing back-to-backs every other night. We never win both games, rarely. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you got the coming and going of Austin Reeves and his bad defensive play. You got the coming and going of D'Lo and the highs and lows that come with him. You got Taurean Prince starting 41 games this season is what I heard. Getting an average probably like 29 minutes a game, being just below average the whole time. And you start hearing stats like your team is fantastic when he's not on the floor type stats. Jovan Bruja was telling us that our non-Taurean minutes are some of the best basketball in the league. And you know your coach is going to throw Taurean back out there, who will not be available tonight for personal reasons. I hope he's all right, but he does not need to rush back. Whatever the situation is, don't rush back. Like, that's how real it is, man. Just tired of this. I wish they'd go back and close that place again. It was closed the first couple of months of me living in this city. I could walk past that in silence. Now it's always open, every day. But anyway, yeah, man, just irritated, bro. I'm irritated by the Lakers. They suck. They're not a good team right now, but they're not bad enough to give up on, and that is irritating in and of itself. You just want the team to be decent. Just be decent. You know what I mean? If you're going to suck, stay sucking. If you're going, consistent's the word, not decent, consistent, because decent is what they are, but consistency is what I'm asking for. If you're going to suck, stay sucking. If you're going to be good, contend. If you're not going to do either, get off my screen. Because this no man's land is the very thing that we always talk about we don't want our teams in. It's the same thing I always say about other teams that they don't want to be in. It makes it not worth to watch. And I was trying to help us as a team that knows who follow me, who may happen to make decisions for the Lakers, hopefully, to keep us out of these spaces of no man's land. You hear me talk about the Bulls all the time. You hear me talk about various different teams. This is what I was trying to teach. Because the only thing worse than being bad for no reason is being in a space where you're not bad enough to get a pick that is worth anything and not good enough to get a chip or get anywhere in the playoffs. There's nothing worse than that. And that is exactly where we believe we are. But we're not certain because the team's so inconsistent that it's hard to tell if that's where we are. Which is kind of worse than being in no man's land. Even in no man's land, you know that that's where you are. Because of the high level of players that we have at our core, you think it's a chance you can win the championship. So that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Because you can't wrap your mind around any of it. So this is what I'm telling all of y'all, man. 13 more games of this season. We've seen 70, say 2 game schedule. About 70 games. And I think I know who I am as a team, who we are. And that is a team that's going to irritate us all the way to the end. That's it. They're going to irritate us all the way to the end, man. And for me, I'm ready for it to end. I'm ready for the season to end, bro. I want to get to the off season. As you guys may have heard me mention, I've already started doing little small preliminary homework on the draft, even though I think it's a massive chance, a fantastic chance we don't have a pick this year. We more than likely don't have a first rounder, but that doesn't matter to me because what I'm telling you is I'm in off-season mode at this point. I'm starting to shift. Not because I think we're done, but because I want this to be done. I'm tired of this. And so that's what I'm telling all of y'all, man. I'm sick of this crap. I want this team, this roster, to go into the offseason, fire that damn coach. Seriously, get him up out of here. He should have been gone. Get him up out of here, fam. Do not re-sign Taurean Prince, not even for free. Get him out of here, bro. And look, there's no perfect science to any of this, you guys. But I'm starting not to like the player option. I'm starting to dislike the idea of giving players a player option. It's because I'm on the team side, you know. I don't need a player having a bad season and then being able to opt in to give me more of his ineptitude. I don't want to sign up for no more of those, man. Player options suck for those of us who are team based. Now, because at the end of the day, if the player doesn't suck enough, he's going to take that option and go to free agency with it. So you don't keep the player if he's worth keeping. The likelihood that you keep something desirable in that situation is pretty null. Because if he sucks enough and doesn't think he'll get a job somewhere, he'll take the player option and come back to your team. If he's good enough to leave and find money elsewhere, he's going to decline that player option and leave you. So it don't really benefit us at all. Stop giving people player options. I'm sorry, players. I'm a fan of the team. And if you suck, fam, I don't want you back. If you on a fucking knee injury, excuse my language, but that's how frustrated I am. If you're on a knee injury, I don't necessarily want to have to bring you back. Especially not at the price that I signed you for last year. Nah, fam, I don't want that. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better, not to make you feel better. You know what I'm saying? Literally. And I know that's a cold thing to say, but man, when you have a season like the Lakers having, and you look up and you got a player option going to a guy like Christian Wood, who the coach didn't want to even use half the time, but when he was out there, he was cool. He was better than cool. He was good, but now you're most definitely going to have him opt into that player option because he's coming off a knee surgery. Not only that, but because he has that player option, now I can't waive his ass when I know he ain't coming back this season, so I can bring in a guy who I know can help me at that position for which of need. So the snag in me signing a Dwight Howard is letting that waive in Christian Wood, who has a player option. Well, now that player option money, if I waive him, automatically stays on the books for next season, which would make it as if he was here any damn way on that player option. Only he won't be here. It's like, yo, fam, stop giving up player options to these players, bro. No more. No more player options, fam. If it ain't team friendly, no options. No more. Because if you're going to give a guy a player option and he sucks, he's just going to come back, man. No more. No more. Yeah, in that. I want that I want that all the way out. No more of that. Unless he's like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? If he's AD and he's Bron, of course, yeah, those guys deserve. And you don't mind them coming back because they're that good. But a Christian Wood, man, Christian Wood shouldn't have no damn player option. Where's the leverage of him having an option of his choice? Where did he come into the league with that to this season with that type of leverage? Seemed like y'all just gifted him that. And for me, I told y'all in the beginning I didn't want Christian Wood. Now, granted, as I always say, I later became happy he was here. I don't think I was right in my assessment of why not to bring him in. But if you look at where you are now, don't you wish you would have went a different direction? It comes back around. So for me, it's like, nah, that's trash, man. No more player options for players like that. If it's going to have me on the hook next season when I don't even have the same vision for my team, nah, I don't need nothing carrying over. No more. No more of that, Rob. No more of that. Stop doing that. A guy like D'Lo, it's a little better, you know what I mean? Because D'Lo is a really good player. You bring him back next year, you feel good about him coming in. Even if he had a bad season, if he doesn't have an injury issue, you feel a lot more confident in him coming in. But it's all about that injury. Because I can tell you the same thing about Christian Wood. If Christian Wood was coming back the same player that he was mid-season, I don't feel bad about him picking up that option. It's all about the injury. And how an injured player who may not even be able to go next season could stay on your books just to make sure he's getting a check. Nah, hell no, fam. Hell no. Maybe there should be some provisions in there. You get injured, that option declines. That may be the way to go. It's only contingent upon you being well enough to play a certain amount of games. That should be the way you handle them options. So we don't have this type of crap. And if we need to drop a guy in this situation to bring in a center of need, then guess what? You're in a position to drop a Christian Wood and then not carry over the next year. And you can help yourself to your Dwight Howard center that you really need. Instead of sitting up here saying, well, we can't do that. Even if it makes all the sense in the world for the unit, it ain't gonna cost that much. It will cost that much next year, and we don't want to mess up our vision for building. It's like, yo, man, I don't sign up for that. And so here's what it is, man. These are the things I want to see the Lakers do. Stop giving players player options. Get this coach out of here. Those are the things that are most necessary, man. Going into next season. No more player options. And for me, personally, man, I don't want us to rush the coaching search. We don't have to rush it. But we really should be getting a handful of names. I don't mind getting another, a coach that doesn't have a whole lot of experience if he's going to fit the bill of the different things that we want him to have. I think you can back yourself into a corner when you allow yourself to have lag based on what just happened. For example, because we passed on to Cam Whitmore, now you pick up a guy that's similar to Cam Whitmore, but he doesn't have the same attributes. He ain't that good, but you're going to pick him up because he plays like it. And then you end up having a bad player in your hand and you pass up somebody you should have picked up. It's like, don't have lag, Yesterday is yesterday, today is today. Let's have balance in regards to what we're assessing. If you have a really good candidate and he doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but he's a genius at the different things you want him to have, don't not hire him because he doesn't have experience and then mess around and hire Doc Rivers or some stupid crap like that just because the guy had to have experience. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Because I've heard that the Lakers, their intention is to hire, if they hire a new coach, which I believe they will, the most important thing they want him to have is experience. No, that's lag. That's what you call having lag, in my opinion. Because you're looking at what you had last time, it didn't work out, so you're going to make sure that you don't get that twice. But you're not going to get that twice. That ain't going to come around again. What you want to make sure you do is have balance and say, I'm going to look at every good candidate, whoever it is that fits the bill or what it is I need, I'm bringing in. Experience is not the most important thing. If he's experienced, it's him being bad with that experience. If a guy ain't no good, then he's no good. That's what it comes down to for me. I don't need Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? I don't need old coach. And so I'm going to go through the barrel of recycled coaches just because they have experience, because the last coach I hired was a rookie and he wasn't very good. No, man. No. Because then you might miss out on the next great rookie coach. Don't let it happen. No lag. Balance. Balance in all things, LA. That's the only way we're going to build what we want to build, man. Balance. Trying to avoid what just happened is futile. What just happened, just happened. It's done. You don't have to avoid that again. What you need to do is make sure whatever your next move will be is your best move. And if that's hiring a rookie savant coach, then bring him in. But this time, don't have yourself on the hook for 4 and 5 years with him. Because that means if he doesn't work out, now you're paying him too. And I think that that's a problem for our franchise as well. However, if it's a Ty Lue situation, you do give him in 4 years because you don't want to have no lag about that either. To where just because you had a bad Darvin Ham experience and you got him on for multiple years, now you do the same thing you did with Ty Lue and end up missing out on your next best coach because you don't want to pay him properly or give him the right amount of years. So it's like it's balanced. That's what I'm saying. Everything in regards to what we do next must have balance attached to it. So important, LA. So very important. So, yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm not the guy to tell you who the coach should be because, honestly, I don't follow coaching ranks like that. I don't know the first thing about a great assistant coach or coach in college or anything like that. I don't know nothing about those guys. But what I can tell you is when you look up and you see what we have going on with Darvin Ham, the most important thing for me is to just not avoid rehiring a Darvin Ham type situation. That's not, how do I articulate this? I'm not going to find Darvin Ham twice. I'm not. The next guy will not be Darvin, so we don't need to bring old baggage into new relationships. That's essentially what I'm saying to you. You don't have to Darvin the next guy. Especially if you're doing your due diligence and hiring him properly. And that brings me to another point. Our GM situation, and we talk about it a lot. I like Rob. I think most people like Rob because Rob has done enough to make us like him. But maybe not enough to make us feel great about what our situation is with him. And that's a tough thing to say. But a lot of the mistakes that have been made, I'm all but in a space where I just think I do better moving forward. with a fresh look there. And I wrestle with that, as you guys know. We've been talking about this for about a week and a half. I've heard other guys, some people are a little more intent on firing Rob. I'm not as intent on firing Rob, but I just think that we're probably in a better space if we do, and we bring in the right guy. Maybe we feel better more confident about what we're gonna do next. I don't know. I'm not as confident with that as I am about getting rid of Coach Ham. I'm not fully on board with firing Rob, but I'm also not fully on board with keeping Rob either. You know what I mean? I'm kind of stuck somewhere with that. It would have to be somebody that really, really takes the cake, man, in order for me to feel great about firing Rob, I guess is what I'm saying. I ain't just replacing Rob. I need a star to come in if I'm replacing Rob. You feel me? With Darvin Ham, it would be great if we can get a star, but it's more important that we get rid of that coach than it is that we get a great coach. Just get this one out of here. But not necessarily with the GM. Not necessarily. It's a different situation there for me. I could probably get away, especially if we're not making a rebuild happen right away. I could probably get away with another year of Rob. I'm more concerned about if we start our rebuild, is he going to be the right guy for that? But if we're going to ask ourselves to just go get Trae Young or something like that, and we're just adding AD and Bron, maybe it's not as imperative that we move on from Rob. You feel me? That's kind of how I'm looking at that. So, I don't know, LA. I don't know, Laker fans. Y'all might feel differently than I do. Y'all might feel a lot differently than I do. I'm not really sure, man. But, you know, I've heard some fans say that they're excited, you know, hopefully we can win a championship with this unit. I don't think we can, man. Maybe we can make the playoffs and make damage happen. I was just, listening to Keyshawn Johnson talk about it this morning. Like, yeah, man. You know, the angel on his shoulder is telling him the Lakers can make it to the second round. I mean, not if we get the wrong matchup. You know what I mean? Maybe if we see Minnesota in the first round, we might have a chance of knocking them off in 7 games or something like that. But I'm not as high on us being able to overcome, say, OKC as most people are. I don't want to see them. Denver, nah, that's not happening. I'm officially in a space where I know better now. It ain't just about mindset. It's about matchups and mindset, and we don't have either. So you want to avoid them. Of course, if we see Sacramento in the play-in tournament, I don't have us winning that game unless Sabonis misses the game or something like that. Other than that, when Fox misses the game, maybe you feel great about the Lakers possibly winning that game, but not if they're healthy. Nah, he ain't beating them. So it's like certain things, it's just like, all right, man. Some of y'all may feel great about this team as it pertains to the possibility of them getting through the playoffs and doing strong things, but at this point, the evidence shows me I should not be excited about anything at all. And if anything, I should be frustrated and should stay in that frustrated space until the season ends a couple weeks from now. So that's how I feel, man. I want to stay optimistic for you guys, but nobody pays me to lie to you people. If they paid me to lie, I would. Like, yeah, the Lakers, man, let's stay optimistic, you guys. I've seen worse things. The things that I've seen from this team just make me want to get out of this situation, this team, man. That's all they've really shown me is, let's just hurry up and get through these next 13 games. Don't expect nothing special from them. That's God's honest truth, man. Don't expect nothing from them. If they're going to win, great. If they don't, that's what you expect. That's what you expect from these teams right here, man. So that's pretty much what I got to say. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. Salute the Kobe Minute that's way behind us 10 minutes ago, but I wanted to get that in here. And he's not walking through that door. I can tell you that. Kobe ain't walking through that door. Oh, before I leave, there's one more thing I want to say. Bron mentioned this on his podcast with JJ Redick, and I'm going to mention it too. Rajon Rondo should probably be somewhere in somebody's coaching chair, whether it be assistant coach or head coach, I don't know. But I would feel a ton more confident about what happens next if Rondo was somewhere on the sideline for us. I'll tell you that. If you don't want to be a head coach, assistant coach. If you don't want to be assistant coach, be a trainer of some sort. But just bring that mind back to our organization, please. BDF44. I thank y'all for watching.